Tonight on Newswire L.A., we're taking you inside of the historic swearing-in of Jackie Lacey as the newest Los Angeles County District Attorney. Miss Lacey is the first female and African American to run the largest prosecutorial agency in the United States. We'll take you through a day of pomp and pageantry inside of USC's Galen Center. All of that and more on Newswire L.A. right after this. It was Monday, December 3rd, 2012, and we were here at USC's Galen Center, just south of the main campus in downtown Los Angeles. We gathered here to watch as the torch of Los Angeles County District Attorney was passed from Steve Cooley to Jackie Lacey. What you're looking at are the family, friends, colleagues, law enforcement officers, and media who have gathered here to see Miss Lacey take the oath of office right here on this stage. Normally, this floor is reserved for USC's basketball games, but an exception was made to allow Miss Lacey, an alum of this institution, to be sworn into office. While the audience waited, they were serenaded by live music coming from the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles under the leadership of conductor Charles Dickerson. The time was approximately 2:15 in the afternoon. If you stepped outside of the building, you would find that almost every available parking space was occupied by law enforcement who have come from all over the county, and those of us in the media. Newswire L.A. and other media outlets gathered here in the Founders Room of Galen Center. We were granted access to Miss Lacey and other members participating in the day's events. Those other people include 4 of the 5 living retired district attorneys, the U.S. Attorney for the California region, and the presiding judge of the Superior Court of Los Angeles County. Going back to the retired district attorneys for a moment, we had on hand Steve Cooley, Gil Garcetti, Robert Filibosian, and John Vandekamp. Unable to attend on this day was D.A. Ira Reiner, who, as we were told, was stuck in Texas and unable to make it back in time. Reiner was a very popular DA who shifted from the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office into this position in 1984. Andre Barot Jr. served as the Master of Ceremonies on that day. Barot is the U.S. Attorney for what is called the Central District of California. Barot is a bit of a first in his own right in that he is the first African-American U.S. Attorney to oversee this particular district. Finally, there was Lee Smalley Edmond. She is the presiding judge of the Los Angeles County Superior Courts and the first female to sit in that position. The news conference overall focused on many of the usual talking points, which included having Miss Lacey articulate what her vision would be for the office, along with any changes she might have planned, and her overall excitement at taking this very important position. At the conclusion of the news conference, the soon-to-be sworn-in DA of Los Angeles County mingled and made the rounds throughout the room. This was one of those days where it would not have been good to be a criminal on the run in this area of the city. One of the largest populations attending on this day was members of the law enforcement community. Moreover, the chiefs of Southern California police departments were also on scene as well. Here you can see Miss Lacey sharing a few words with Chief Jim McDonough of the Long Beach Police Department. You have to keep in mind that the relationship between police and the DA is quite deep. Miss Lacey also had time for a few words with yours truly and Newswire L.A.'s Tricia Mitchell. That was a wonderful moment for us given the historic nature of this day. Before long, the DA's media team escorted Miss Lacey out of the room. They explained that they wanted Miss Lacey to have some quiet time before she went through the formal swearing-in ceremony. Also, we, in the media, would need time to set up our cameras in the main arena as well. The media had a bird's eye view of the stage. Just ahead of our cameras was the VIP section. They had arguably the best view of the stage and the event that was about to take place. And now, U.S. Attorney Andre Barot Jr. is heading across the stage and taking his place at the podium.
Next, we will have the presentation of the colors from the Los Angeles Police Department's Honor Guard. And I would also like to invite on stage Carol Martinez, Leila Hoyle Guerrero, and Reverend Alvin Tunstall.
What you're about to see is the appearance of the Honor Guard, followed by the recital of the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the national anthem.
Carol Martinez will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Carol is a 6th grade honor student at Hollenbeck Middle School. On Wednesdays, for nearly 5 years, Jackie used her lunch break to leave the district attorney's office and teach elementary school students at the Lorena Street Elementary School in Boyle Heights. Carol was one of Miss Lacey's students. Carol, if you'll lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please place the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Carol.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red land, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Trinity Baptist Church's Alvin Tunstall Jr. gives the invocation. Trinity Baptist is the church where Miss Lacey and her longtime husband first met as young people. Taking the podium is USC's president, Dr. Max Nikias. Nikias spoke on behalf of the university community, who was ecstatic that a USC alumnus was taking such an important office. In fact, this was a double victory for USC, as the outgoing DA, Steve Cooley, was also an alum of the university as well.
One dedicated Trojan, Mr. Steve Cooley, is passing on the baton to another dedicated Trojan, and I'm very proud and honored to be here today. I'm not just impressed by what she has achieved, but also by who she has become. When Jackie graduated from USC's Good School of Law, she could have used her tremendous talents to succeed in private practice. But we're very pleased that she chose to enter public service. Over more than 25 years, she rose through the ranks, going from a leading prosecutor to a top-tier district attorney. At every step of the way, her energy, her loyalty, and her integrity earned her the unwavering support and the deepest respect of those who worked alongside her and those who competed against her.
Lee Smalley Edmond, who appeared at the earlier news conference, returned to deliver an impassioned speech. It is worth mentioning again that Judge Edmond is the first female jurist to preside over the Los Angeles County Superior Court system.
Jackie is obviously a huge role model for countless young girls and women and people of color. This is so important because in order for our society to get the best qualified people in leadership positions, we can't just draw from half of society. Everyone has to have an opportunity. And now the DA's office can no longer be considered a male-only position.
And this man needed no introduction, Steve Cooley. This district attorney left office with a very good prosecution record and with a high approval rating based on several high-profile cases that closed under his watch.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First things first, Jackie Lacey, congratulations on becoming Los Angeles County's 42nd District Attorney. As of noon today, you are the leader of unarguably the largest prosecutorial agency in the country. You are also, the punchline's next. Save your applause. You're also the leader of very arguably the best prosecutorial agency in the country. I've served in the office for 39.5 years, the last 12 years as district attorney. And Jackie, you were my management staff, you were my executive staff at my side all 12 years. Thank you for your service during my administration. How about we swear her in? Come on up, Jackie. I'd ask Jackie's family to join her and bring up the Bible you've selected. Okay, great. Great. Yeah, that's it.
I'm nervous.
Don't worry, you'll get over it. I state your name.
Jackie Lacey,
During such times I hold the office
during such times as I hold the office
of District Attorney of the County of Los Angeles,
of District Attorney of the County of Los Angeles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which
upon which
I'm about to enter.
I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
John Vandekamp, at one time one of the youngest DAs in L.A. County, was joined on stage by Robert Filibosian, Gil Garcetti, and Steve Cooley for what would be the presentation of the official badge of the District Attorney. And now here's a portion of DA Jackie Lacey's inaugural address.
Thank you. You know, it hardly seems real. And I praise God for the journey as well as for the victory. I cannot thank by name all the people who have made this moment possible, but for the rest of the lives of my family and I, we will reflect on this day and be grateful to all of you. Speaking of my family, I want to thank my husband, David, my kids, Kareem and April, for all they've done to help me realize my dream. I also want to thank my nephew, Laydell, who is like a son to me, for his love and support during this period of time. A very special thank you goes to my mom, Addie, and my sister, Carol, for all of their prayers, their encouragement, and their help. And I salute my dad, Lewis Phillips Jr., who passed away in 2008, for being my very first leadership coach. It is a privilege to be sworn into office on the University of Southern California campus. I thank President Nikias and the leaders of this distinguished university for allowing me to be on stage in the Galen Center today. Now, USC represents so much to me personally. It has been like the iconic center of some of the most important events of my life. This is the closest university to my childhood home in the Crenshaw district. My father drove me by this university as a child every time we took Exposition Boulevard to the Harbor Freeway. I went to law school here, and my husband, David, and I made our very first home on campus in a studio apartment facing the corner of Vermont and Exposition. And from the minute I began to realize that I would be the next district attorney, I envisioned my oath of office ceremony taking place on this campus.
After the ceremony, it was back to the Founders Room for the reception honoring Miss Lacey. While everyone mixed, mingled, and dined, Miss Lacey was on the far end of the room posing for pictures with the attendees of tonight's event. And by the looks of the line which wrapped around the entirety of the room, it appeared that our new DA would be the very last person to partake in her own celebration. While Miss Lacey continues meeting with her family, friends, colleagues, and others, it's a perfect time for all of us here at Newswire L.A. to thank the Lacey and Alan Jackson campaigns for their unparalleled access during this election season. We also want to thank Sandy Gibbons of the Los Angeles County DA's office for her assistance in bringing us to this event on this day as well. We're going to put down the camera, get in line, and grab a plate of food from the buffet. While we're doing that, we're going to give you a Newswire L.A. Extra with our Roland Spruill, who's at the African American Firefighter Museum in downtown Los Angeles. Let's go to Roland.
Fire Station 30 opened at 1401 South Central Avenue in 1913. In 1924, it became a segregated fire station for black firemen only. Over the next 3 decades, it became ground zero for heroes who would break down those barriers. In 1997, it became the African American Firefighter Museum. But don't be fooled by the name.
We're not so much a firefighting museum, we're a museum of a historical significance in terms of the civil rights era. And when we opened in 1997, it was a beautiful facility. And to this day, we're still the only freestanding African American firefighting museum in the country. We are known as the African American Firefighter Museum and Cultural Center, we like to call it.
This museum, like most other entities, has suffered due to the weak economic climate, but resourcefulness has been key to its survival after its first decade of life.
Well, folks are facing some challenging times now, and so people aren't able to give as freely and as abundantly as they have in the past. The challenge is seeing who can help support you financially, who can assist you financially, but we keep trying, we keep knocking on doors, we keep asking, and we know that when the economy does turn around, then the dollars will start turning around as well. This is the age of collaboration to survive. Many other groups have come and supported us. CACLA was a major one. The California Artists Coalition Los Angeles was very instrumental in us doing some artwork here. National Association of Minority and Contractors painted our facility for free on the outside. That was huge.
Being resourceful with its people power keeps this museum humming along, especially after the retirement of Arnett Hartsfield, a significant change during these first 15 years.
We have a group of recently retired firefighters from the LA Fire Department that have been giving us people power. They've been down here volunteering their time. We really enjoy that support. Mr. Hartsfield enjoys it. I enjoy it because it really helps us keep the doors open when we have people here that come out and support what we're doing. We've learned to use interns from UCLA. We've had UCLA interns come here and did an outstanding job in archiving our photos, our pictures, our artifacts. We have another intern that's digitizing our displays. And so that's just been a great help. So we learned about the art of volunteerism. We learned about the art of using interns, particularly working with USC students as well. We've had 2 USC interns down here. We've had UCLA interns. We didn't have to worry about a fight between the Trojans and the Bruins. But we've learned that if you just ask, people will come and they'll assist. Because we're just outside of the Skid Row district of Los Angeles, we had some challenges with some break-ins. So we were getting hit almost every other day. And we went to the experts for help, the Los Angeles Police Department. And we consulted with a retired captain. That's a security consultant. We got the Special Problems Unit involved. And needless to say, those break-ins stopped. We were able to secure camera systems and do more fortification on our museum, and so we've been very fortunate in that respect.
In addition to its museum and cultural center designations, mark this as a communal gathering place, which makes it a revenue generator in its own right.
The good thing is we've grown. We allow folks to rent our facility at very negotiable rates, very reasonable rates. And if folks come to us and go, look, this is all I have in my budget, we try to work with them. And so far, that's allowed us to do what we need to do to pay our bills. It's not enough, but it's a good chunk of what we're doing. Well, it's recently, there was just, a film was just made here called He's Mine, Not Yours, with some pretty much named actors and actresses here, used for fashion shows, jazz festivals. We've had a wedding here, a firefighter wedding, if you will, surprise birthday parties, 40th, 50th, 60th birthday parties. We've had retreats here. We even dabbled in 2 bachelor auctions. That, did net us a small profit. Don't think we'll do it again, but it was pretty exciting. So folks can use this for just about anything to heighten their business, their awareness, celebration-wise. As my good friend Armando Hogan says, this is a celebratory place. We've grown to look at really marketing this place as a hall to be used to bring funding in. We've also created a payroll deduction slot, so any member of the City of Los Angeles, any employee, not just firefighter, but any employee of the City of Los Angeles or the County of Los Angeles can go through the Stentorian organization, our eternal sponsor, and join the museum on a monthly basis through payroll deduction. We only ask $10 a month. So we've learned a lot from that.
A weak economy, challenges in gathering funds, and the retirement of an icon notwithstanding, big plans are still in store for the African American Firefighter Museum.
We're shooting for a fundraising goal to raise money to bring back the old kitchen out in the back. The kitchen is now a storage room. We want to make that a commercial kitchen so caterers can come and be free to cook and have a nice kitchen to cook with. We have an old antique fire truck, ladder truck from the 1940s. Well, we have somebody working on restoring that. And our goal is to get it restored to a pristine condition so we can ride the fire chief in it during the King Parade with all of our sponsors and firefighters as well to showcase that. And then there is another part 2 of our mural project that we want to finish up around the parking lot area. So we have some projects that we're looking at doing. We're excited about them. We're very hopeful that we can get the funding to make these things happen. And that's the good about it.
After 15 years, what does Museum President Brent Burton want the public and his fellow firefighters to know?
Well, to the people of Los Angeles, we want to say, for those of you that have been here, thank you. Thank you for coming. If you would like to come back, we welcome you back with open arms. If you have some ideas for us, comments, concerns, suggestions, please let us know. So we want your continued support. Tell your friends, tell your family to come and visit us and use our facility for an event. To the firefighters, this is our history. You know, black firefighter history, African American firefighter history is firefighting history because it was a turbulent time in the 1950s when things were not the way they are today. Today we've seen the achievements of several African American fire chiefs, and not just in Los Angeles, but in other parts of the country. And that's because of the attitudes that have changed from firefighters of this current generation. We've seen behaviors change in firefighters of this generation. The firefighters of yesteryear, yes, there were some good men back in those days and good women back in those days that did support and understand and sympathize and help. But today we can see the fruits of the labor of people working together and getting along very well. In no means, shape, or form do we promote or preach separatism. We're promoting history. We're teaching history, we're sharing history, and African American history is American history. So we invite you to come down, learn about this, and share it with others.
And that's your African American Firefighter Museum and Cultural Center. As they enter their next 5 years, we'll see this facility grow and expand even beyond what you see today. Congratulations on 15 years of firefighter and American history.